You are being lied to right now, not by a scammer, not by some guru selling a course, by the very government programs that were built to help you. And here is the statement that should stop you mid-scroll: the money has not run out. Billions of dollars in self-employment assistance is sitting unclaimed right now across the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. Fully funded, fully allocated, and 91% of the people who apply for it will never see a single cent. Not because their business is failing, not because they do not qualify on paper, but because the system has been quietly reprogrammed to reject them automatically before any human being ever opens their file. I know exactly what that rejection felt like, and I am going to show you the exact mechanism behind it, the precise language that dismantles it, and the one trap that destroys people even after they get approved. But before I show you any of that, I need to tell you about a client I spoke to 3 months ago, a consultant, making $4,000 a month, clean books, registered business. Applied for assistance and got rejected in 48 hours with zero explanation. I am going to come back to what happened to her. But first, you need to understand the machine that rejected her, because that same machine is reading your application right now. When a self-employed person applies for government assistance in 2026, their application does not go to a human reviewer first. It goes to an AI classification bot. This bot is not reading your story. It is not considering your circumstances. It is doing one thing: scanning for what it calls an entity identity signal and matching it against a preloaded dictionary of approved and rejected profile types. And here is where the invisible wall lives. The words freelancer, independent contractor, self-employed individual, side hustle, gig worker, every single one of those terms has been pre-coded as a dependency risk profile. That label triggers one automatic prediction. This applicant will misuse funds, miss growth benchmarks, and require continued assistance. The bot scores you below the threshold. Your application is filtered out before a single human scrolls past your name. Now here is the part that should make your blood boil. The exact same person, same income, same service, same bank account reframes their identity using approved language, and the bot scores them as a viable economic unit and flags them for human review. Same human being, completely different result, based entirely on vocabulary. That is the invisible wall. It is not made of laws. It is not made of policy. It is made of words. But here is what most people do not realize. The vocabulary problem is only the surface layer. Underneath it is a policy shift so significant that it changed the entire architecture of who gets funded and who gets filtered. And if you do not understand this shift, changing your words alone will not save you. So let me show you exactly what changed and why it changed at the same time across all 4 countries. Prior to 2025, these programs operated under a social support framework. The question was simple: does this person need help? If yes, here is funding to stabilize them. That era is completely over. In the 2026 budget cycle, every one of these governments retired that framework and replaced it with what they are calling the Economic Viability Investment Model. The question is no longer, does this person need help? The question is now, will this person generate a measurable return on public investment? That single shift is why rejection rates exploded, and it changes everything about how you must present yourself. In the UK, the Shared Prosperity Fund refocused its entire 2026 allocation toward digital transformation and productivity enhancement. Walk in saying you need support and you are invisible. Walk in as a digital service provider closing a regional productivity gap and you are a fundable asset. In Australia, the Self-Employment Assistance Program increased its business viability score requirements, score below the threshold, and you are auto-declined before a caseworker is ever assigned. In Canada, the Small Business Financing Program tightened its eligible entity definition, quietly eliminating applications from anyone who looks like a hobbyist or lifestyle business on paper, even if the revenue is completely real. And in the United States, the SBA shifted its scoring towards scale-intent applicants who demonstrate intention to grow and employ others, get prioritized over those who appear to be sustaining personal income. They are not funding survival, they are funding growth. And if your application does not scream scale and economic productivity, you are invisible. But here is the part that is going to surprise you. And this is where that consultant I mentioned, the one making $4,000 a month with clean books, this is where her story gets interesting. Because her rejection had nothing to do with her vocabulary. It had everything to do with something she did 6 months before she ever submitted a single application. I will tell you exactly what that was in just a moment. But first, I need you to do something with me right now. Be completely honest. Have you ever used your business bank account to pay for a personal meal, a streaming subscription, a grocery run, even once? If the answer is yes, drop the word guilty in the comments right now, because what I am about to tell you changes your entire strategy. In 2026, the US and Canadian programs implemented open banking API access during the application phase. When you submit your application, the system scans your linked business transactions, sometimes going back 18 months. The AI is trained to detect transaction, commingling personal and business expenses running through the same account. When it finds it, your business is automatically reclassified as a hobbyist entity. Application declined. Profile flagged for a 12-month cooling off period. I am seeing this devastate applicants across the UK right now, in particular where reviewers are being aggressive about this specific flag. Drop your country in the comments right now. USA, UK, CA, or AU. I am building a country-specific cleanup checklist, and I need to know where this is hitting hardest before I release it. Now I know what some of you are already thinking. I will just open a clean new business account today and apply tomorrow. Do not do that. It will make everything significantly worse. The AI cross-references the age of your business bank account against your registration date. A brand new account opened days before an application is one of the highest-weighted fraud indicators in the current system. A clean account with no history looks more suspicious than a messy account with a long one. What you actually need is what I call the backdoor reclassification method. Keep your existing account with its age and transaction history. Instead, clean up how your business is described and classified on the application itself. Change the entity description. Reframe the operational phase. Align your language to the viability matrix. Your old account becomes your asset because it has history and longevity. Your new language becomes the key that opens the door. This approach does not require you to restart anything. It requires you to reframe everything. Now, here is the program map by country. Screenshot this right now. Do not write it down. Screenshot the actual screen so you have the exact names when you go to search later. For the United States, search SBA Underserved Entrepreneur 2026. Key qualifier. Scale intent. Your application must show you intend to grow beyond a one-person operation. For Canada, search CSBFP Growth Phase Applicant. Key qualifier. Documented revenue paired with a written growth plan. For the United Kingdom, search UK SPF Digital Productivity Grant 2026. Key qualifier. A clearly stated digital transformation objective. If your work has any digital or remote component, lead with that. Make it the headline of your entire application. For Australia, search NEIS Business Viability Score 2026. Key qualifier. Achieving the viability score threshold based on how you describe your business model, your market, and your projected revenue path. Notice what every single one of those search terms has in common. Growth, digital, viability. Not one of them says help. Not one of them says support. Because that language is completely dead in the 2026 system. You are not applying for help. You are applying to be invested in. The moment you internalize that shift, your entire application posture changes and the system responds differently. Now, remember that consultant I told you about at the start of this video? Clean books, $4,000 a month. Rejected in 48 hours? Here is what happened to her. She got the language right on her second application. She reclassified her entity correctly. She got approved. The money hit her account. And then 5 months later, without a single warning, the full amount plus an administrative interest charge was pulled directly from that same linked account. She triggered a clawback, and she never saw it coming. In 2026, programs introduced predictive compliance monitoring. The government does not stop watching after they give you the money. Every 30 days, your account data is scored against your viability. Milestone target, a growth benchmark set at the time of your approval. If your revenue does not hit the target by month 6, the system does not send a warning letter. It does not schedule a meeting. It triggers an automatic clawback sequence. The full amount plus interest direct debited from the bank account you linked during the application. What destroyed her was not that her revenue did not grow. Her revenue grew. What destroyed her was one specific bookkeeping classification error that made her growth completely invisible to the compliance scanner. The money was real. The growth was real. But the way it was recorded made it look like stagnation, and the system took everything back. That one bookkeeping error is now the single most common reason funded business owners lose their money in 2026, and it is completely preventable if you know what it is before you file. That full breakdown, exactly what the error is, why it happens, and how to structure your books so your growth registers correctly in every monitoring system across all 4 countries, is dropping in exactly 48 hours. Subscribe right now and turn your notifications on so you do not miss it the second it goes live, because the worst outcome in this entire process is not getting rejected. You can recover from rejection. The worst outcome is getting approved, doing the work, building something real, and then losing everything to a clawback you never saw coming. 48 hours. Subscribe, notifications on. I will see you there.